Hello everyone, my name is Eli Carey, and today I will be discussing Chapter 2 of Jean Nathalie's book, The Missing Semester. This chapter is titled, The Rest of Your Life Starts Now. Within this chapter, we will discuss preparing for life after college and how we can prevent our debts from dictating our savings. We will begin with a little self-reflection. Do you believe that you are prepared for life after college? I'd also like to note that if you chose another route aside from college, such as trade school, military service, or entering the workforce, please stick around. The following information still applies to you. Now, to continue, over 1.9 million students graduated with bachelor's degrees in 2020. The world just became way more narrow. Most of your life, you've heard that the world would be at your fingertips after college. This sounds nice. However, the real reality is responsibility takes precedence. Responsibility to provide for yourself and to fulfill past promises. Remember all those times you told yourself what you wanted your future to look like? Your house, family, cars, vacations, collectibles, or anything else you aspired to obtain? It is now time to fulfill those promises, but it can only be done if you are financially responsible. College is over, and it's time to welcome yourself into the real world. There is a simple phrase worth remembering and repeating to yourself that we like to use to remember financial responsibility, and that is, do not let your spending dictate your saving. You'll hear this phrase repeatedly throughout your life. It starts with being aware of your debts. The average 2019 student loans totaled over $29,200 and unpaid credit balances over $2,300. Remember how we said earlier that the world just got more narrow? All these debts and the potential consequences of leaving them unpaid create a narrow path towards financial success. Regardless of where you come from, it is our financial responsibility to account for our debts. If we are not careful, debt can consume any one of us, and often happens much faster than we realize. Regardless of how much we spent on our education, it's irrelevant now. You don't need me to remind you how expensive your education was. Once you have graduated, that money has become a sunk cost. And you may ask, what is a sunk cost? It is defined as money that has already been spent. We can't get it back. There's no reason to dwell on it now. The only way we can eliminate these debts is to generate income. In 2019, the average starting salary of graduates was $51,000. Now the question is, what do I do with it? Remember your standard living costs and plan accordingly. Your standard living costs include food, shelter, clothing, and transportation. Now let's take a look at where your paycheck will go. This pie chart represents the distribution of spending by the average American. The three main necessities of human life consume 63% of the average American's after-tax annual income. This leaves 37% for everything else. This includes clothing, healthcare, entertainment, insurance, pensions, services, and anything else needed. And let's not forget the average college graduate is responsible for the repayment of over $29,200 in student loans. Using a student loan interest rate of 6%, repayment of that average comes to $324 each month for the next 10 years. This $324 value was not included in the pie chart and further highlights how narrow your budget can become. Now let's move on and look at our monthly expenses. This chart gives a glimpse of the bigger picture, as in the financial challenges that we will all face. This graphic applies the percentages from the pie chart you saw previously to the average starting salary of $51,000 mentioned earlier. Notice how little room for error there is. And remember those $324 you owe for student loans every month? That falls into the everything else category. It is our job to find ways to increase our actual end-of-month income. You can pursue the obvious and try to earn more money, but what is less evident yet easier to achieve is to spend less money. And if you can combine the two, it can be very powerful. To manage your expenses, you need to ask yourself two simple yet important questions that will save you money for years to come. Do I need it? And if so, why? When making this decision, remember that $324 monthly loan payment. This obligation alone eliminates most of your discretionary income. Looking at your monthly budget deserves a few minutes of your time as well. If you can manage your spending, you will maximize your savings. Making an informed decision to save money is perhaps the most important decision that you can make at this point in your life. And make sure that you always remember, make your saving dictate your spending, not the reverse. Thank you all for your attention. I'm Eli Carey.